Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another Mixed Media Mayhem. Today we are scrap lifting the awesome Rebecca Moore, and I chose this layout for the group, and I really love this layout. I think it's so adorable. She did a fantastic job with it, and I don't think I do her justice, but I am going to do my best job to lift it to some extent. I am documenting my son's girlfriend. She passed her phlebotomy boards, and so this was maybe not quite a year ago, but I wanted to go ahead and document that for her. And so we had gotten her a cake and just had a really quick little home celebration type deal. Nothing super fantastic, but it was just a nod to her getting her certifications. So I pulled a bunch of papers from my scrap bin, and I am layering them up behind the photo using kind of pinks and teal and turquoise colors today. I don't end up using this striped paper. I thought the cream was I don't know, it didn't work well. The photo does have cream in it, but nothing else that I'm using had cream. And so normally if I want to add cream to something that I'm already using that is white, I would add cream in multiple places. And I decided I just didn't want to go that route. So I opted not to use that piece. I did use the edge distresser on my papers that are backing the photos. And then I kind of added a little bit of black soot distress ink. I didn't add a lot. It's just enough to kind of give it a dark edge, but not really like enough to really color the entire edge. And now I'm going to start working on the banner pieces that are kind of overlapped. And I am going to start with this paper that has the hearts on it. I really like this paper. I thought it would work really well. But what I ended up needing to do was to trim the photo down. It was a little bit on the tall side for the paper that I have because I'm using these scraps. And so I just trimmed down the bottom and the top of it, and then each side I cut the white off, and I'm going to reback it in white paper. So it'll have that white border, but it no longer has a bunch of kind of dead space in the front of the cake or above her head. So it just made it a little bit shorter so it fits on that heart paper a little bit better, and I still have room to cut an angle at the bottom so it looks kind of like a banner, and so that worked a lot better. Sometimes you just kind of have to either make them work or you go back and figure out some other way. Like I could have switched papers so that I used something that was a full sheet. That would have been one way to handle that, or I could have maybe tried piecing the paper together because a lot of it doesn't show behind the photo, but I didn't really want to kind of try and mess with that. So I just said, I'm just going to trim the photo. It works. So I don't think you have to have a standard size photo in your album anyway. If you know me, I like 3x4s. I like 2x2s, 4x4s, 4x6. It doesn't really matter. I like large photos too. I like a lot of mix. So now I'm trying to get the opposite angle. So I just flipped the first one over so they're face to face, and I cut that angle on the floral paper there, but I left that paper a little taller, which is much like Rebecca did in her layout, as you see there. And then I'm going to use my edge distresser. And you guys, I found my edge distresser. I don't know if you watch my channel all the time. I had lost my edge distresser quite a while back, and so I bought one of the ones that looks like a little disc and has like several blades in it, but it's a lot smaller and it's harder to hold. And I was so thrilled when I found my original edge distresser. Then I don't even think they make it anymore. I think this one was like by Making Memories or something like that. And so I was just super happy with that. So I am going to again tap a little bit of black soot distress ink on there. And yes, this is a mixed media layout, and I haven't done any mixed media, but that is coming up very soon. Here, as you can see, I have a stencil sitting on my white paper, and I apologize, I don't know where I got that stencil. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not even going to try and guess. but it was perfect. It was very, very much like the one that she used, or very much like the pattern that she has behind her photo anyway. So I thought I will go ahead and use that one and make it similar. You could have used any stencil when you're scrap lifting. You do what works best for you. So I didn't really have to do this one, but I wanted something that was celebratory. And this was really kind of a celebratory type of stencil, in my opinion. It's kind of reads like it's pinwheels and happiness and all of that. So party-like. And so that is why I decided to use it. And I don't think I've ever used it before. So it was another good excuse to use something that I hadn't used before. And I am someone who likes to use everything at least one time. Everything in my stash, I want to use it at least once, if not more. I would love it if it's more, because then you're really getting your money's worth. But if you bought it and you never use it, you're really not getting your money's worth. So this was definitely something I wanted to go ahead and use. And then I used Jade Vine, Peony Pink, and Yellow Primrose paper glaze to put through the stencil. And then I am using some Carnation and some Turquoise Media Gloss Spray from Dina Wakley to splatter over the top. And I'm just sitting here shaking up the turquoise. It has been sitting for a little while. And so these media gloss sprays, you definitely have to shake those up. While I finish that, I will remind you to check out everyone else who is playing along. Links are down below, so that you can go and give everybody a little bit of love. And then I also wanted to mention that if you have not signed up for the Blank to Bold class that I am hosting with MK, it starts September 2nd, which is next Friday, and you can still sign up. We're taking signups until the end of August, and the link will be down below for you, and it is on her Etsy shop if that is something that you are interested in. It is a mixed media class that we are teaming up to teach over Zoom. So you haven't missed the actual class content yet. We did some bonus material up in August, and that stuff is all available in our Facebook group for the class. So if you join the class, you'll be in the Facebook group, and you can go back and revisit that bonus material if it's of interest to you. So that's my little spiel on that. I just didn't want people to forget if they had planned to sign up, and it's not. If you aren't interested, that's totally okay. Don't worry about it. But if you are interested, it's still available. So I gutted my paper that's in the background, and then I went ahead and adhered that down. And I'm pretty happy with the way that the mixed media turned out. I'm just trying to figure out the placement of the banner piece with the photo on it. There were a couple of spots that I kind of left bare. You'll see kind of next to that bottom left green swirl, there's kind of a void between it and the photograph. And so I wanted to put something in there. I could have filled in that area where the stencil did have an area right there, but I thought that area was going to be covered with the photo, so I didn't really worry about it. But then I kind of wanted the photo to be a little bit more right justified than center, and so it did leave a blank space there, but it will get covered up with a label. So, and then I have this acrylic piece that says "You Rock," and I thought that was perfect for this layout. But I didn't want it in white because there's a lot of white going on in this layout, and I didn't want it so that it wouldn't show. So I'm using one of my Sharpies to just color the top, and I should have just left it at that. I should have just colored the top and left it alone. But when I was all done, I had accidentally gotten some on the side, so I thought, I'll just fill in the sides, and then I realized my pen tip cannot get into some of those little areas, and so then it looked unfinished. And so I'm going to mess around with it quite a bit and go a different route with how to color it. This was a little bit of a learning experience. I have colored my acrylic many times with my Sharpie pens, and so that wasn't really the learning curve. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to put it in some alcohol, take all of the ink off of it, and then I will put some color into a bowl and see if it works that way. But first I decided I'm going to just take my paintbrush because it's going to get into those grooves a lot better. So I thought I'd take the paintbrush, get into those grooves, and see how that looked. And I didn't really like the way that it was coming out. So then I'm going to go the bowl method And I'm not sure if it's a better method or not. I'm trying to avoid a lot of like streaks on the front. So I don't know. It was kind of a learning experience, this portion of it. And I'm trying to kind of get it a uniform shade of turquoise. Right now, some of the areas are really dark and some are really light. And so I was kind of playing with that, trying to figure out how to do it. I did not realize I didn't take the backing off of this cut file until much later. And so the back of it, I was like, wow, the back of it's holding that turquoise great. And it's because there's paper on the back of it. But when you're working with alcohol ink, anytime you retouch the surface with anything that has alcohol in it, you're going to lift some of that pigmentation off. And pigmentation, I don't know if that's even a word, that pigment. So here I decide I'm going to go ahead and put it in the bowl, and I'm just going to darken it up a bit, and I'm going to swirl it and let it dry. But each time you dip it in there, it's going to re-lift that off, so the color that you put on it is going to get lifted off. So I have to keep it face up and then hope that the color swishes over the top of it. And you can see the back there when I did that. I'm like, wow, the back is really super turquoise, and it's holding that. So I just kind of keep swishing the alcohol ink over the top and then letting it dry a bit. And I'm using my heat gun there to kind of help it along. So I'm hoping I'll get a bit of a more uniform look. And I really like the way that it looks sitting in there. You know, it's not too bad, but when it dries, it still has some lighter areas just because there are places where the ink settles into more so than, you know, like the outer edge, the ink doesn't settle there. It kind of settles into the center. But I like the way that it ends up looking at the end. So I did dip my little banner flags in there as well, just to kind of give them a little bit darker teal so it matched a little bit better. And I'm pretty happy with the way that that came out. It matches the heart paper a little bit better. So I've got kind of a combination of teal and turquoise going on, along with the two different kind of shades of pink. But at the end of the day, I think it looks okay. So there are like the darker pink flowers in that pink paper that's makes up the right hand side of the banner in the back of the photos. And so that's kind of where I pulled that pink from for the mixed media. I might have done a lighter pink if I had thought about it, but I don't really have a pink that matches that paper very well. So it was kind of like a gamble. Do you get the one that doesn't match well, or the one that just pulls something from the paper that is a little on the darker side? At the end of the day, I think it looks okay because I was able to pull in a lot of ephemera that has that same kind of pinkish, that darker pink that is in the mixed media. And so I like the way that that looks. And I think those pieces say one says extraordinary, I think. And the round one says cheerful. So yes, it was a cheerful day, and it was extraordinary that she passed her boards and everything. So she's pretty excited about that. And then I put this little piece that says superstar underneath where it says you rock. And a little piece at the top that says work hard, because she did a lot of hard work to get there. So I thought that was awesome. I did pop these little banner pieces up onto some foam tape. I did originally have it a little lower, but I didn't like it as much, so I wanted to move it up. And so I had a little bit of glue that I had to wipe off there. And then I'm going to add this little balloon, which is a little more on the turquoise color. I was just trying to figure out where to put it. It ends up here at the top. And I really like the way that that looks as well. A little bit more celebratory again, and makes it a little bit happy. So don't forget to check out everyone else who's playing along, you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed Mixed Media Mayhem. If you did, I'd love a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, I'd love for you to subscribe as well. If you would like notifications of each time I post a new video, just hit the bell down below and you will get those as well. Thanks again so much for watching and spending time with me today, you guys. I really do appreciate it. I know you've got a lot of options out there, and I appreciate that you chose my channel to watch. So thank you for that. I will see you again very soon with another video. So stay tuned and have a great day. Bye-bye.